Good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel, Passionate Book Readers. In the series of book reading, we'll be reading 30 Days Change Your Habits, Change Your Life. A couple of simple steps every day to create the life you want by MARC RECLAU. Going ahead with the chapters, today we'll be reading The Importance of Your Attitude, Chapter 7. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, by Viktor Frankl. Your attitude is crucial for your happiness. It can change your way of seeing things dramatically and also your way of facing them. You will suffer less in life if you accept the rules of game. Life is made up of laughter and tears, light and shadow. You have to accept the bad moments by changing your way of looking at them. Everything that happens to you is a challenge and an opportunity at the same time. Look at the positive side of things in life, even in worse situations. There is something good hidden in every bad, although sometimes it might take some time to discover it. I'll tell you again, it's not what happens in your life that's important. It's how you respond to what happens to you that makes your life. Life is a chain of moments, some happy, some sad, and it depends on you to make the best of each and every one of those moments. Did your wife leave you, so you will be unhappy forever? Or will you go out and meet new people? Losing your job might open new doors. Many years ago, all of the success teachers and positive thinkers described it this way. If life gives you a lemon, add sugar to it and make a lemonade out of it. Younger readers might say that if lives give you a lemon, ask for some salt and tequila. You get the point, don't you? For example, some healthy attitudes are allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. Admit that they are things you don't know. Dare asking for help and let other people help you. Differentiate between what you have done in your life until now and what you want to do, or better still, will do from now on. Think of a negative situation and turn it around. Chapter 8. Perspective is everything. The optimist sees the donut, the pessimist sees the hole. Oscar Wilde. A pessimist is somebody who complains about the noise when opportunity knocks. Oscar Wilde. William Shakespeare said, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." Put things into perspective. The closer you are to the problem and the more in front of it, the less you see. Step back and get a more global view of it. Understand how you feel faced with the problem and evaluate the real importance of it. Even seeing the problem as a challenge will be helpful. Every negative experience in your life has something good in it. Search for it. If you get into the habit of always searching for good in every situation, you will change the quality of your life drastically. Experiences themselves are neutral until we start to give them meaning. Your vision of the world and your perspective decide if something is good or bad. What may be a great tragedy to you could be a wake-up call for me to take my life into my hand and thrive. In coaching, we use what is called reframing to change the perspective that a client has of an event. One of my favorites is changing failure to feedback or learning experience. How do you feel if you say, "I failed terribly in my last relationship"? Now try saying, "I learned so much from my last relationship. I'm sure I will not make the same mistakes again." Can you feel the difference? Here are some more examples of reframing. "I'm jobless." You say, "I have time to figure out what I really want to do for a living." If you feel I'm sick, you feel cleansing, giving my body a break. That's the way I am. I can look for another perspective. When you say I can't, you must say, "Let's see which options I have." When you feel it's impossible, you just say it out. It is possible. When you feel it is a problem, you change your mind and think it as a challenge or opportunity to grow. When you feel you are failed, you say, no, it's a learning experience. When you feel I have to or I should, then you say, no, I choose to, I will. Don't say I try, say I do. Always, no, until now. Never. Instead of saying never, you say sometimes. Write down at least 5 situations in your life that you thought were negative. However, with time you clearly saw that you got something good out of it. Next, chapter 9. Have patience and never ever give up. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Thomas Alva Edison. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Perseverance is more important than talent, intelligence, and strategy. There is great virtue in never giving up. When life doesn't go according to plan, keep moving forward, no matter how small steps are. The top 2 habits that will decide between success and failure, between real change and staying in the same place, are patience and perseverance. It's highly possible that before success comes, there may be some obstacles in your path. If your plans don't work out, see it as a temporary defeat and not as a permanent failure. Come up with a new plan and try again. If the new plan doesn't work out either, change it, adapt until it works. This is the point at which most people give up. They lack patience and persistence in working out new plans, but watch out. Don't confuse this with persistently pursuing a plan that doesn't work. If something doesn't work, change it. Persistence means persistence towards achieving your goal. When you encounter obstacles, have patience. When you experience setback, have patience. When things are not happening, have patience. Don't throw your goal away at the first sign of misfortune or opposition. Think of Thomas Edison and his 10,000 attempts to make the light bulb. Fail towards success like he did. Persistence is a state of mind. Cultivate it. If you fall down, get up. Shake off the dust and keep on moving towards your goal. The habit of persistence is built as follows. Have clear goal and the burning desire to achieve it. Make a clear plan and act on it with daily action steps. Be immune to all negative and discouraging influences. Have a support system of one or more people who will encourage you. Follow through with your actions and to pursue your goal. Chapter 10. Learn the Edison mentality. I failed myself to success. Thomas Alva Edison. It's hard to fail, but it's worse never to have tried to succeed. Theodore Roosevelt. Let's talk about failure. This subject is so important and yet so misunderstood. Paulo Coelho hits the spot when he says there is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. The fear of failure is the number one dream killer. But why? Why are we so afraid of failure? Why can't we see it like Napoleon Hill, who indicated that every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit? Or, in other words, how would our life change if we could see failure exactly like Napoleon Hill did? Why not see it as a learning experience that is necessary for growth and which provide us with information and motivation? What would happen if you could fully embrace the idea that in reality, failure is a sign that points towards progress? Learn the Edison mentality. Edison himself said things like, I failed myself to success, or I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. See how positive he is. This is what enabled him to bring many of his inventions to us. The man just didn't give up. Accept your mistakes as feedback and learn from them. Luckily, as kids, we didn't have the mentality which many of us have adapted as adults. Because if we did, then many of us wouldn't know how to walk. How did you learn walking? By falling many times and always getting up again. Unfortunately, somewhere along the road you picked up the idea that failure is something terrible. And as a result of this, nowadays, we fail once and then stop doing things. Simply because it didn't work out for the first time. Because we got rejected. Because our business venture didn't work out right away. Now is the time to change your mentality towards failure. Why don't you look at it in this way from now on? Every failure is a great moment in our life because it allows us to learn and grow from it. Even more and more companies nowadays are shifting to a new mentality by allowing their employees to make mistakes because they notice that if people are afraid to make mistakes, creativity and innovation will die and the company's progress slows down. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. Success is the result of right decision. Right decision are the result of experience and experience is the result of wrong decisions. Here is a story of famous failure that literally failed his way to success. Lost job 1832, defeated for legislature 1832, failed in business 1833, elected to legislature 1834, sweetheart died 1835, had nervous breakdown 1836, defeated for speaker 1838, defeated for nomination for Congress 1843, lost renomination 1848, rejected for land officer 1849, defeated for Senate 1854, defeated for nomination for vice president 1856, again defeated for Senate 1858, elected president 1860. This is the story of Abraham Lincoln, a man we would not exactly characterize as failure, would we? And here are some other famous failures. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team. Steven Spielberg, rejected from film school 3 times. Walt Disney, fired by the editor of a newspaper for lacking ideas and imagination. Albert Einstein, he learned to speak at a late age and performed poorly in school. John Grisham, first novel was rejected by 16 agents and 12 publishing houses. J.K. Rowling was a divorced single mother on welfare while writing Harry Potter. Stephen King, his first book, Carrie, was rejected 30 times. He threw it in trash. His wife retrieved it from the trash and encouraged him to try again. Oprah Winfrey, fired from her television reporting job as not suitable for television. The Beatles, told by a record company that they have no future in show business. Answer the following questions. Have you had any failures in the last years? What did you learn from it? What was the positive you got out of it? See, you have got so many examples of the failures who have turned their failures into success. So, be persistent and never stop trying again and again until you reach your goal. Chapter 11. Get comfortable with change and chaos. Be willing to be uncomfortable. Be comfortable but being uncomfortable. It may get tough, but it's a small price to pay for living a dream. Peter McWilliams. The way to success goes through change and chaos. For personal growth, you have to be in a constant state of feeling slightly uncomfortable. Get into the habit of doing things that others don't want to do. You have to choose to do what needs to be done regardless of the inconvenience. That means to forgive instead of holding a grudge, to go the extra mile instead of saying it can't be done, to take 100% of the responsibility for your behavior instead of blaming others. Most of us think that to change our lives, we have to make huge changes, and then we get overwhelmed by the hugeness of the task and end up not doing anything and get stuck with our old habits. The answer is baby steps. Start changing small things which don't require a big effort, and those small changes will eventually lead to a bigger changes. Start changing your way to get to work, the restaurant you're having lunch at, or meet new people. I would suggest do something that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable every day. What will you change tomorrow? Your daily routine. Exercise, eat healthier. Chapter 12. Focus on what you want, not on what you lack. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Aristotle Onassis. The number one reason why people are not getting what they want is because they don't even know what they want. The number two reason is that while they are telling themselves what they want, they are concentrating on what they don't want, and what you are concentrating on expands. Remember to focus on what you want from now on. Where is your focus? On the positive or negative? On the past or present? Do you focus on problems or solution? This is crucial. Here is where the law of attraction goes wrong for most people and they give up. They say, I'm attracting money, I'm prosperous, but at the same time, they focus most of the time on the bills they have to pay, on the money that goes out, on the fact that they are not earning too much. So, what happens? They attract more of the things they don't want. You will attract more of what you focus on. Your energy will flow into the direction of your focus, and your focus determines your overall perception of the world. Focus on opportunities, and you will see more opportunities. Focus on success, and success will come to you. Use the following questions to change your focus. How can I improve this situation? What can I be thankful for? What is great in my life right now? What could I be happy about right now if I wanted to? Is that still important in 10 years? What is great about this challenge? How can I use this to learn from it? What can I do to make things better? Chapter 13. Watch your words. But if your thought corrupt language, language can also corrupt thought. George Orwell, 1984. The only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want is story you keep telling yourself. Tony Robbins, watch your words. Don't underestimate them. They are very powerful. The word that we use to describe our experience become our experiences. You probably encountered a situation or two in your life when spoken words did a lot of damage, and this is true not only in talking to others but also talking to yourself. Yes, this little voice in your head, the one that just asks, voice. What voice? You are what you tell yourself the whole day. Your inner dialogue is like the repeated suggestions of a hypnotist. Are you complaining a lot? What story are you telling yourself? If you say that you are bad, weak, and powerless, then that's what your world will look like. On the other hand, if you say you are healthy, feeling great, and unstoppable, you will also reflect that. Your inner dialogue has a huge impact on your self esteem. So be careful with how you describe yourself, such as I am lazy, I am disaster, I'll never be able to do that, or my personal favorite, I am tired. Because, of course, the more you tell yourself that you're tired, the more tired you will get. Watching your inner dialogue is very important. The way you communicate with yourself changes the way you think about yourself, which changes the way you feel about yourself, which changes the way you act, and this ultimately influences your results and the perception that others have of you. Keep the conversation with yourself positive, such as, I want to achieve success. I want to be slim. God, I am good. Because of your subconscious mind doesn't understand the word no, it sees your word as images. Don't think of a pink elephant. See? I bet you just imagine a pink elephant. And I will repeat myself. Please focus on what you want. Keep in mind that your words, the questions you ask yourself have a huge influence on your reality. I tell my coaching clients to never tell me or themselves that they can't do something, but instead always ask, how can it be done? If you ask yourself how, your brain will search for an answer and come up with. The good thing is that you can really change your life by changing your language, talking to yourself in a positive way, and starting to ask yourself different questions. Why wait? Start asking yourself different questions now. We pause at this moment and we'll continue with this book in the next series, in the next video. Thank you.